we are going to let you know that why you should choose the cybersecurity as a career. What is the importance in the 2022 and in the future also, how if you will be a cybersecurity specialist or the analyst of with the cybersecurity post, then what then how you will be reaching up to up to your goals. So before starting the webinar, I would like to welcome our very own speaker, Mr. Shubham Gautam. He is a cybersecurity strategist with more than 6+ years of experience in the field of cybersecurity, and also he has trained over 10,000 students and cybersecurity professional guided him with many ventures overall. He has also instructed various colleges, computer science professors with visiting faculty of CBI and India's top cyber lawyer, and is also a part of faculty development program of Skill India, that is from the government of India. So if we can say, we have n number of experience with these Shubham Gautam, where he's one of the specialists in providing the OU overall the cyber security as as a professions. So rather than wasting our more time, I would like to invite Mr. Shubham Gautam to come on the dais and start the webinar. And guys, if you have any doubts or if you have any kind of questions, you can drop in our chat box or in a Q&A box during the webinar or the post webinar. Our speaker will like to give you some good answers over there, and it will be able to understand and solve your doubts, whatever you have in regards to cybersecurity as a career. Over to you, Mr. Shubham. Thank you.
Sure, Anita. Thank you so much for introducing me. Hi everyone. Good morning. I am Shubham, and Anita already introduced me to you. So, we will be going to talk about cybersecurity and the careers in cybersecurity and about this particular industry for the next 60 minutes from now. So, I hope that everyone who is joining this particular webinar should be interested in cybersecurity somehow. That's why you end up joining this particular webinar. So make sure that you take out the maximum of this particular webinar by asking questions and by dropping your queries into the chat box. I will be having the chat box on one side of my screen all the time. So do drop your queries and do drop your questions or whatever you want to ask about ethical hacking, cybersecurity, and anything on the chat box, right? So let's just start with the webinar, and I will be focusing on most of the things that revolve around the cybersecurity. That is starting from the what is cybersecurity and then taking it to some what kind of attacks we do have in cybersecurity, what are the industry size of this particular domain, and what are the prerequisites and all the other things I will be talking about. Each and everything in this session I will try to cover up as much as possible, and in the end of this session we will be having the question answer. So for the 10 or 15 minutes we can spend time together. You will be asking questions and I will be answering your doubts over there. So Anita already gives a good introduction of me. So I guess I do not require more introduction over there. You can have a quick eye roll on this particular about introduction slide about me, that I have been part of multiple cybersecurity agencies out there. So what I do in cybersecurity domain, in short, that if you are aware that what is cybersecurity domain, then in this particular domain, I do work in all three categories, right? We have three categories into cybersecurity domain. We have the service area, right, where we guide the organizations, institutions, and all the other companies and corporates out there. So what we do over there, we guide those companies and provide the services that how they can secure from the outside attackers. So we go to the companies, we take their applications, we try to hack just like a hacker, and then we try to provide them the feedback that whether their applications, their infrastructure is secure or not. So I am working into that particular domain. Along with that, we are also into the consultancies. So consultancy is something where we provide our consultancy is the expert guide that how to be on a secure side from the outside threat. So if there are companies, whether it is government or the private sections, so we guide those companies, we like form our view on the security, and then let them know that how to be on a secure side, how to protect their company from the outside threats and the attackers. And the third part is the training itself, that we have the training part, which we are currently doing right now. So on the training part, I have trained more than 10,000 or 15,000 students, as well as the professionals out there. So we guide the professionals, we train the computer science professors over the different institutions. And some of the institutions that you can see on the screen, that I have designed the curriculum for all those institutions out there, which is triple IT Bangalore, IIT Roorkee, IIT Jodhpur, and some other IITs as well. So whatever curriculum is running over there, I have designed that curriculum, and also training on the same part. Right. Same with the Imarticus. I am the one of the lead member for the cybersecurity course. So we will be spending time together when we get into the like learning stages of the cybersecurity. Apart from that, I'm also committee member, steering committee member for various organizations. Like we have a section of National Information Security Council of India. So we take decisions over there that how the cybersecurity structures will reform and will be helpful for the national security. And there are many other things as well. Right. You may like if we talk about the exposure, then I have been to all of the like top, if you count top 5 media channels across the country, then I have been there for addressing several issues, and like uh, presenting our views on ongoing cyber crimes that are going on and all of those things. Right. So we have been there addressing the issues and all of those things out there. So I guess that's enough of introduction. You will get to know more when we move forward together to learn about more things. Talking about the agenda of this particular webinar, we will be keeping this webinar around the security domain and the career options around it. And also towards your question that you have joined this particular webinar, you must be having some questions in your mind. So we will be addressing those questions. So moving ahead, the agenda is cybersecurity basic, the threats and the breaches, and something about career and the Q&A. So I will be moving fast and forward, uh, directly starting with the very first thing, which is what is cybersecurity. So for addressing this particular question, like there are many people I can see in the group that they are very new and they want to explore into cybersecurity domain. So you must have, or you must know that from where the cybersecurity industry get started. So if we talk about that, if I just ask a question to you, that if I ask that from where we have this particular industry startup, right? Like what is the date or what is the time period when you think that this cybersecurity industry get into the existence, right? So maybe many of the people will say that it is after the internet, right? Internet over there. So many people will think that it is after the internet, and many people will say that it is a very recent kind of domain that originated just a few days back or few years back when the attacks are getting popular, right? I will be getting those kind of answers, and I always get that kind of answer to this particular question when I ask that from when the cybersecurity get into the existence. But if I tell you the based on the facts that when was the cybersecurity originated, so cybersecurity is something that was originated before the birth of internet. Right. So it was there already before the birth of internet. And maybe many people now having questioned that how the cybersecurity can exist before the birth of internet. So I'll have an answer for that. So what is internet? That internet is something where we can share messages over the network. I can share data from one computer, from one device to the another device out there. So people always think that hacking is something, or cybersecurity is something that whenever you get on internet, do something like watch a video, make your account, do a chatting, do accounts and all the financial thing like driving the GPay, Paytm, and all of those things. So people think that cybersecurity come into the existence to protect all of these things, but this is not the exact definition of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is very wide term out there which contain each and everything, like every kind of data. So Internet was originated in the year around 1969, and beyond that we are having this advanced internet right now. So if I just take you to the backward into the history, so what we have, that in the very early 1960s, what happens at that particular era, the computers get originated, right? We have the new computers, the computer evaluation get started over there, and people start using computer, not the personal computers, but the organizations like government organizations or private technical or technology organizations, right? So in 1960s, if we talk about that particular era, so at that particular time, you already know that we have a computer of a size of a complete room. So computers were having a very large size. You have to keep that computer into a dedicated large space. You have to rent a space or you have your own space, and then you have to put that computer in a big room, right? And that computer was holding a sensitive and the important data about the organization. But at that particular time, there was no internet. I am talking about 1960s. So whatever you have to do, whatever you have to do on the computer, you have to go physically, and then you have to perform the task or you have to perform whatever you have to do. So the cybersecurity, if I talk about that, at that particular time, the image of cybersecurity was something that the companies have to hire a guard, and that guard will be protecting the room which has the computer, right? And that guard will be protecting the computer room by two kind of people. One, who have enough knowledge to use those computers, because if they can use that particular room, they can damage the data, they can steal the data, they can access that particular data, or they can manipulate that data as well. The other kind of people the guard have to protect that particular room is that from the uneducated people or from the people who do not have enough knowledge to use the computers. Because again, if the people who do not have enough knowledge to use the computer, they get into that particular room, they can damage the data, right? They can cause some kind of harm or some kind of a destruction on that particular computer. So we have this particular guard who is actively identifying people and protecting that particular room from those kind of threats. So that was the structure of cybersecurity at that particular time. That you have to protect the data and the devices at any cost from getting damaged, from getting an unauthorized access, or from getting attacked or alterations. Right. So that was the image of cybersecurity at that particular time. This was a computer room, and this guard was working as the antivirus kind of solution, you can say. Then we move forward into the time very quickly. After 10 years, we have the networking. And when we have the networking in 1969, computer can talk to each other and can share data from one place to other place. And when computer are now capable of sharing data from one place to other place, so it is now very dangerous, because now hacker have the more space. Now hacker does not have to go to the computer room. Hacker can steal the data when the data is traveling from one place to other place by the help of wire. So hacker can do the wiretapping kind of attack. So for protecting the data from those kind of things, again we build up some kind of cybersecurity strategies that will be helping us to protect the data over the network. And in 2022, right now, right here, we know that internet has become very complicated. Like no one can understand internet completely, because there are many branches, there are many things that are ongoing. We are doing the zoom call over the internet, we are talking over here, we can share video, we can do everything. We are doing the online banking, we are watching YouTube videos, we are like whatever you think of, we are doing that online. We have the virtual reality as well. So we have a so much complex structure right now that we have on the internet. And as the complexity of the structure and the data increases, we know that cybersecurity structure will also get increases, and hackers are getting very advanced that they can also break into those systems and those technology to steal the data and to manipulate the things, and for many other tasks over there, right? So that was the picture of cybersecurity we have today. And now by this idea, I guess you already have the you already thought of something, that how big is this industry is, right? Even you and me will be requiring cybersecurity, or whenever we go to the market, we try to install something from the market, we first think of that whether it is secure or not. Then after that we think of some other things. So this is the first and the foremost thing that we think of in 2022 before using anything on internet or before storing any kind of data on the computer. And the people who do not think about it, they always end up getting the data breach, some kind of a scam, some kind of other things associating with the bad purpose. Make sense? So I guess we are good to go that what is cybersecurity. Everyone is now aware that from where cybersecurity come into the existence and what is the picture of security nowadays. So we have to protect any kind of device, any kind of data, any kind of computer system or network from being attacked or damaged or unauthorized access. So that is the main purpose and that is the whole story of cybersecurity that we are doing right now. So moving ahead, I can see that we have several questions into the chat box, but I will be responding to them post webinar, right? Because I have to share a lot of thoughts about this particular industry. So moving ahead, if we talk about this particular era, like if we talk about the career in cybersecurity, that why cybersecurity is one of the best domain right now, right here, and we are focusing on that one. So you may have like already experienced this particular COVID-19. Everyone, you and around you, or everyone is present here. Everyone got impacted by COVID-19 directly or indirectly. It doesn't matter. So directly or indirectly, you get impacted by the consequences of COVID-19 of this pandemic. And along with that, you also hear the news all the time in this last 2 years that people are losing their job, businesses are getting fall. You already know that many businesses closed during this particular COVID-19. Many businesses, almost every business, face some kind of loss into the financials and their work purpose, and people are not getting the new jobs as well, right? And all this is because there is a new pattern of work, which is work from home. And this work from home structure is very difficult for adapt, because people who are the employees, they do not have enough technical knowledge to do work from home. They always getting into some kind of a scam, or they do not know how to use technology. And the company is also not capable or not ready for shifting their 100% employees to the work from home environment, because that will bring up a lot of risk. Because now people, instead of going office, people will be working from home, and they will be uploading all the office data from their home laptop or from their office laptop from the distance to their office server. So in the between, hackers have their opportunity to leak that data to hack into those things. Right. So work from home is a very big challenge for every industry, for the companies and for the employees out there. So this is why every other business, 100% of the industries are losing their businesses. Even till this date, we are facing many difficulty, and people are losing their job, and new people are not getting the job opportunities with that much of rapid pace. But if we talk about cybersecurity domain is the only one domain in this particular industry in the globally that is gaining the increase of 500% in the job section, as well as the growth. And that is like you already have the answer for this one, that why this is happening so when every other industry is falling down. Because every other industry is looking for some secure structure that they can protect their work from home kind of environment, right? They are looking for the security solutions. They are looking for cybersecurity experts who can protect their data from getting breached, from getting hacked by the hackers out there. And for proving that point, you can already see that I have bring up many clippings from the different newspapers all across the globe, that COVID-19 want to stop the cybersecurity jobs and recruitments. And it is the only section which is COVID virus proof. Right. So that is something very interesting to read, that only cybersecurity jobs at IT firm are COVID-19 virus proof, and all the other industries are falling down at that particular time. So this is also something that gives you idea that why cybersecurity is one of the industry out there which is booming with a lot of increase into the job opportunities in the government sector and in the private sectors, in both of them. Now moving ahead, talking about more things out there. uh, some of these statistics, I will not go through all of them, otherwise it will consume a lot of time. So statistics says that again, in the context of why cybersecurity is one of the best domain. There is a hacker attack in every 39 seconds, and that is the statistics around 2 years back. Right, this is 2 years old statistics that is saying there is a hacker attack in every 39 seconds. If you open a live map that you see, that monitors that what kind of attacks are happening right now, you will be able to see that there are attacks in every second, not in 39 seconds. Now there is a multiple attacks in every second. So you can imagine, to stop those attacks, how many people we will be requiring in this particular industry to deal with those kind of things. So if I just go on the cyber attack map, so I can find the many maps online that are accumulating that kind of data and showing us that how many attacks are happening right now. Right, so you can go on these websites, you can find out that okay, what is happening right now over there, and many other things. Right, so you can see there is an attack then again, and like by the France over India, by United States over the Japan, by Ireland to the Germany, and there is the description of those attacks. And these are only monitored one, right? Maybe there are some attacks which these platforms cannot monitor. So you can imagine the number is way more greater than we are looking over here. There is other maps as well. You can see that other kind of map as well, which will give you the information about those kind of attacks. And here are also the industries that financial services are getting hit at the highest rate, and then service and consultancies, manufacturing, insurance, and all of those industries, right? So again, like all of these industries will be requiring cybersecurity as a service or as a some kind of product to protect themselves from these kind of outside attackers, right? And when everyone is working from home, then the cyberspace is getting increased. Otherwise, we can have this webinar offline as well. Right. Before 2019, 2020, it was happening offline. But now, see, everyone is having computers, everyone is getting online and driving this internet. Right. The reason behind it. So I hope that makes sense to you as well. There is another point in the same context, which is this one, that 71% 71% of respondents in a survey says that they are satisfied with their job. And when I talk about other industries, it is around 40% to 50% only, right? Maximum over there. But in cybersecurity, the people, 71% people says they are happy with their job, because again, you already know that security is something that is really interesting to learn and work with. And we see the real life challenges every day. We deal with the hackers, we deal with different kind of attacks, and we have to be very active in this particular domain, and that takes our interest. So that's why this job section is having a good opportunity, as well as it is interesting to work as well, right? Maybe many of you, I can assure that, just join this particular webinar because you think that cybersecurity is something that you should know, and you have a very much interest into it, because you always hear the news like, okay, this hacker hacked into the WhatsApp, this hacker hacked into the Facebook, into the Microsoft. So how all of these things are working, you should be very interested to know about all of those things. So moving ahead, again talking on the perspective of the industry size. So you already know that we have the top five industries, right? Maybe if you search about the top 10 industries, you will be getting this particular list from the internet. And all of these industries are like very big industries out there. You already know about it. But when you put the cybersecurity on the other side, like when you put cybersecurity on the other side over here, so let me write it down, cyber security. So when you put cybersecurity as the industry in front of all of these big industries, you will automatically realize that why all of these industries will be requiring cybersecurity as a service or as a product, right? Because if I talk about technology, so in technology, you can assume any kind of thing. Your laptop, your operating system, whatever applications you are using, your mobile phone, or whatever technology you are using right now, if those technologies say that we are not secure, or we do not maintain cybersecurity, we do not focus on cybersecurity, you are never going to buy their product, right? So without cybersecurity, technology industry cannot work, and they will be downfalling with a rapid speed. right? And you already know that one of the giant, which is Apple always market themselves as one of the secure and like one of the safest device, or one of the device which maintain their privacy of their users, right? And users buy the product of Apple in that way only. Sorry, just give me a second. So over there, we know that the technology will be requiring cybersecurity as one of the primary thing. And if technology industry does not focus on the security, then no one will be consuming their product or their services. The another important thing is the healthcare. Now, healthcare industry, if you imagine that, if you uh, if you are doubtful that how the healthcare industry will be looking for cybersecurity, so there is a one very interesting case that happens a few years back. There was one of the hacker. You should be aware about that. What is the pacemaker? Right. So pacemaker is one of the device which is the artificial heart, and whoever is having the heart failure, doctor can replace that heart with the pacemaker. That will be working as the implant into the body, and it will be pumping the blood for that particular individual, right? And that pacemaker, nowadays pacemakers are so smart that it can also give you the feedback that is there any problem or not out there. So what that hacker does, that hacker found a vulnerability into that pacemaker, and the hacker can control that pacemaker from 100 meters away just by using some computer and some frequency over that pacemaker. And hacker can stop and start that pacemaker by sending some of the frequencies from his or her computer, right? And that you can consider that how much dangerous it is, right? If hacker can do it, then there are million of lives which can be in danger. So healthcare industry again focuses on cybersecurity at the most critical stage. So cybersecurity is one of the most important section for the healthcare industry as well, because healthcare industry uses a lot of devices, right? Like in 2022, and it will be going to increase in future as well. So there are robotic surgeries as well that are happening. So you can imagine that if some vulnerability hacker can exploit into that particular robot, it will be very dangerous in that category, right? So that is one dangerous thing we have. Finance, investment, media, again I will be leaving that on you, that you will be making examples out of it, that how this will be impacting and requiring cybersecurity as a product and as a service at some picture, that you use your bankings. I guess 90% of your financial things of you and your parents as well, it will be on some online account, right? They will be using some bank for storing their money. They will be putting their money into the stock market or something. They will be putting their money into FDs or something, but everything is accessible online. And if these industries, finance and investment, does not focus on the cybersecurity, then you can imagine what can happen. And it happens regularly on the specific time period. You may heard the news that okay, this bank got hacked, and hacker stole this much of money out of that bank, and this happens and that happens, right? So for protecting against those kind of things, again, this industry will be requiring cybersecurity at the one of the most important element into their business. So whatever industry you can take from the top 10 chart, it will be requiring cybersecurity at the foremost thing. And that is again big, this particular cybersecurity industry, one of the most important space to work with. I hope this makes sense to you as well, right? So I will be moving forward with more things out there. So when we move forward, we have few of the attacks. Now, maybe many people will be wondering that who are completely new to this particular domain, that what kind of attacks we do have, like what hacker exactly do when we talk about cyber attack. So I have just put five kind of attacks on the screen, and there are hundred and thousands of attack out there. Right. This is just five categories of attack. So do not limit yourself to this one. I am just talking about few of the famous one, and there are hundred and thousand of other attacks which are present into this cyber space. So the very first, the malware. So malware is something that comes in every shape and sizes, and malware is something that if your laptop your mobile phone, if your any of the IoT device, if you have some light bulb or tube light that can be controlled by your Wi-Fi. So if any of the device can get the malware, it will be in the control of hacker, right? It can do a lot of other things by placing that malware into your device. So this is one of the dangerous thing that all the industries are very fear of, and they want to protect themselves from every kind of malware. And one of the dangerous thing about this malware is that it comes in every shape and size. What do I mean from that? That it can be designed for mobile, it can be designed for the laptop, whether it is working on Mac OS, on the Windows, on the Linux, or whatever, for the devices like routers, switches, webcams, or some other devices, what you can think of. Right. So it comes on all shape and sizes, and it can be fit anywhere. It can be delivered as a format of anything. It can be in the format of image, it can be in the format of PDF, it can be in the format of the video, or the document file, right? So that's why it is one of the dangerous thing, because it has all kind of formats, all kind of shape and sizes, and it can do damage a lot. And it can also bypass the antivirus and all the firewalls as well, if hacker have that kind of knowledge, right? So imagine if that can do this kind of thing. So organization should have to hire a people who should protect that organization from these kind of malwares. So malware, again, I guess it makes sense to you. Another thing is the phishing, which is also one of the greatest attack of all time that is present in the cyberspace. Phishing is very simple thing, like sounds very simple, but it is one of the most dangerous thing out there, because phishing is something that looks authentic to the user, right? Like I can make a fake page of Amazon, Facebook, SBI.com, or some other thing, or I can even like makes it so real that a normal people who does not have knowledge of cybersecurity will not be able to recognize between the original and the fake. And when you do not have enough knowledge to recognize between that what is fake and what is real, so you will end up getting into the trap of it. So again, organizations require people who can train their employees that how to detect these kind of attacks. And phishing attack is one of the top attack, because it is widely spreaded every day, every second. Some of the organization will be receiving some of the phishing attack all the time. Social engineering, one of the very I would not say that it is a new domain, but people are getting to know about social engineering nowadays. Social engineering is very interesting domain, because it consists of human psychology. We play with the human psychology, that we manipulate people into doing something. And in that context, we have several attacks based on it. So hacker can manipulate the people by collecting information about them and making them to do something that they are not intended to do, right? So it is one of the you can say backbone of every other attack. Social engineering will be used for placing the malware, for sending the phishing links, for delivering any kind of attack out there, right? So social engineering is again the human psychological manipulation that happens out there. We do not have enough time to talk in depth about every other attack, so that's why I have to just give you introduction. So you have enough knowledge, you have the names, you can further communicate with me, or go on internet and search about it, that what are these things. But I guess that I am giving you introduction that makes you understand that what it is. Then social engineering, human psychological manipulation. After that, we have the man in the middle attack. Man in the middle attack is something that if two devices are talking to each other, then how those devices are communicating, and hacker can snoop between that communication. So hacker can read all the data what they are sharing in that communication. So man in the middle attack, that there will be the hacker in the middle of two devices, the communicating devices. So that is also a dangerous thing that industry has to protect themselves from these kind of attacks. And finally, if you think that okay, the industry has built up some kind of solution which will be protected, which will be protecting the industry, or the like whatever institution you have, they have built up a strategy. They have spent million of dollars on building their security and their security team, and they have placed a good firewall which will be protecting their employees from these kind of malwares. They have built a good training to their employees, so their employees will not get into the trap of phishing. They have trained their employees so good that they will always recognize that whether it is a social engineering attack, whether someone is trying to manipulate them or not. And also they have built a mechanism and good software and hardware in place that will be protecting them from man in the middle attack. So if you think this, that okay, company can spend million of dollars uh, and protect themselves from all these kind of attacks. So in the last, we have the 0 day. 0 day attack is one of the again dangerous attack which is not known by anyone, which is very newly developed attack. No one knows about 0 day attacks, and hacker can utilize that attack for compromising the again compromising any of the computer or any of the device out there, right? So when no one knows about the attack, that is a newly generated attack, so how would someone recognize it? So that's why the organizations will require a cybersecurity expert who will be actively analyzing that what is happening in the infrastructure. Is there any wrong activity happening in the infrastructure or not, right? So for 0 days again, they will be requiring to build a team of people who will be actively looking for all these kind of attacks. So I hope that you got some idea that why all the organizations do need some kind of security people in their infrastructure, and always and actively, even after placing a lot of good hardware that will be protecting them from the attacks, even after if they have spent million of dollars into securing their infrastructure, because there can be 0 day every time. Like I guess 1 or 2 week back, just 7 or 14 days back, there was one attack on the Microsoft Office, and that was a 0 day. So if anyone in the world is using Microsoft Office, hacker can send him a document file, and if that person clicks on that document file, the system will get completely take over by the attacker. Right? You can read about that attack as well. The name was something Filona attack, and then after 2 days, Microsoft release a patch for it when they get to know about it. Right? So there are always many attacks which are in the market, which are very newly developed. No one knows about it, and it can cause harm, a lot of damage, reputational damage, financial damage to the organizations. And that's why we have this big industry who is always actively looking for the people. In every other industry as well, if you look at the job section, we have always like many applications and we have many people for a single profile. But the truth of cybersecurity industry is that we have less people. When we look for the people who have enough knowledge to meet our criteria, who have enough knowledge, good knowledge about security, we are out of the numbers. We have more jobs and we have less people. So that is, I guess, this is the only industry which have this kind of condition. So that's why again, it is one of the highly paid industry as well, because we have less number of people in this. So another thing, when you go professionally, when you will be getting into this particular industry, there are several kind of teams. Like it isn't something. It is not like that the company will hire only one hacker. It is not like that. There will be team for people, and those teams will be working in a different way, right? So we have teams of people, like we have a red team. So red team is the team of people who will be doing the offensive hacking, right? Like who will be acting as a hacker, who have the offensive knowledge, and they will be attacking the company infrastructure just like the hacker would do. And they will be testing the infrastructure of the organization, that whether they are secure or not, right? And there will be the different team, which is a blue team out there. And blue team is the team of people who defend those kind of attacks, who is the defensive security team. So if you are more interested on protection, then you will be into this particular team, protecting the infrastructure and the attacks, stopping the attacks which are coming from the red team and from the outside, right? And there is a yellow team as well, because again, the need of cybersecurity is getting increased. So nowadays, even the developers who do not have knowledge of cybersecurity, they are not the preference of the organization. Nowadays, developers are being hired if they have the good knowledge of cybersecurity as well. Because if they have the knowledge of attacks, vulnerabilities, whatever the threats are out there, so they will get to know that how to build a secure product. not just to build the product, but to build the secure product. So that is also one of the need nowadays, and those kind of peoples are known as the member of yellow teams, right? So even if you are some other stream people, you are learning about the development, you are thinking that okay, you will make your career in development and programming and product management, so you will be requiring the knowledge of cybersecurity for pursuing and outstand out of the crowd. So that is one thing, right? Apart from that, again, as I said, that cybersecurity is a very complicated thing in 2022, and it will be getting increased along with the time. So we do have some other teams as well, which is originated by the mixture of these three teams. So quickly getting to this, we have a yellow team, we have a red team, we have a blue team. If you mix yellow and blue together, you will be getting a green. So green team is the team of builders, the team of developers who learn from the defenders. So they have the defensive knowledge. We have the yellow with red, which is the orange, and orange is something that again the developer, but with the offensive knowledge. And purple team is one of the team if you are completely into security, the people who have the attacking knowledge as well as the defensive knowledge as well. And whatever we are learning over here will be consist of this particular team, that we will be focusing on both technologies, that how to defend from the attacks and how to do the attacks as a hacker. A few more things, just in case if you are not looking for the cybersecurity career right now, maybe you have enough time, you are in your college or you are studying right now for the next 3 to 4 years, or you are having some other job and you want to just learn about cybersecurity and you want to do something in it along with your some other profile job. So bug bounties are the things that we have in this particular domain as well, which are also getting very popular nowadays. What happens in bug bounty, just in case if some people are not aware, that every other company out there, Microsoft, Facebook, whatever we have, Netflix or the Meta or the Instagram or some other, whatever organizations we can count on, like Tesla, PayPal or some other, or GitHub, Shopify or some other. So all of the organizations, you always hear the news that some organization get hacked and hacker steal that kind of data or hacker do that kind of damage. So what these companies are doing, they are building a open program. They ask all the hackers which are out there in the globally, no matter where they exist. So if you have the knowledge, you can go on the platform, you scan there, you do the penetration testing on their platforms, on their applications, on their websites, on their whatever platform they have. You find the bug. If you find any of the valid bug, you report it directly to them, and they will be rewarding you with some money, right? So this is also a very good thing, that you can participate into the cybersecurity and to other big companies out there without even saying like giving an interview or anything. If you have the knowledge, you directly go on the platform, search about the vulnerability or bug. If you luckily found something, then you will be getting paid for that vulnerability. That's it, right? So this is also one of the good section that we are having. If you focus on this particular slide, then someone reported vulnerability to the PayPal and got rewarded with $16,000. Someone reported the vulnerability on the Shopify and got rewarded with $22,000. Right? Someone reported a vulnerability on the like let's say GitLab, got rewarded with $5,000, right? So all the other companies are open to these kind of programs. If you have the skill, you can implement any time of the day whenever you have free time, and you can report the bugs by finding them. So on the same basis, on the part of this bug bounty only, we have very good examples as well of our previous students, that few of my students are really like doing good into this particular bug bounty section as well. So here are just 5 examples out of it, that we have one of the girl out there who was rewarded with $30,000 from the Microsoft for finding a vulnerability. Another students who got a name in the Apple website. You can go on the Apple website, check his name, and he was from the second year BTech, found a bug into the Apple iOS gallery, right? And then again, the another student, like this, the last example was very interesting example, because this happens when we was having the online sessions. So we asked the student that, okay, you have to practice that particular thing, and she was the advocate. She was not even having the technical background, so she was the advocate. And she was around like in his more than 35 plus years. So she was just learning security for some interest purpose. She get to learn about it, she get to learn about that, okay, what are the web vulnerabilities, how to find bug, what how to drive these tool and that kind of activity. And after just randomly learning and practicing something, she found one of the bug on the one of the top bank in India. We cannot name it publicly, but it was one of the top bank in India. Hopefully you will be using it. She found the log file of that, and that log file contained every data about that bank. So she was rewarded $7,500 for that, finding that bug. And when you find bugs, you will get rewarded, and you do not have to stay attached to all of those things. You do not have to like have some contract or have something. You are just go on the platform, find a bug, report it, get rewarded, and that's all. No string attached, right? So it works in that way. Then after that, I guess, if I take more examples, we have very famous attacks like credential stuffing attacks that are happening all the time right now, which are very famous nowadays. What happens? You always hear the news again that Microsoft get hacked and their data breach available on the dark web. Facebook got hacked and all the user data is on the dark web. You hear about the Domino's, you hear about the Airtel, you hear about some other organizations that they got hacked, and their data, they your password and email ID and your account details and your credit card details are selling on the dark web for a good amount of money. So this kind of attacks brings up this attack, which is credential stuffing attack. Credential stuffing attack is something that the hackers on the dark web collect the data and build a database. That database will contain all the data which is breached sometime by different organization, and that database contain the email ID and the password. And when the hacker is able to find your password into that database, especially for the companies, so hacker will able to like directly open their accounts, their administrator accounts, their email IDs, and their different accounts. So this is known as the credential stuffing attack. Again, this is something again very dangerous, because people are not aware that whether your email ID is being breached somewhere or not. So again, a very simple demo. I guess most of the people should be aware about it. Just in case if anyone is not aware about it, it will be a new learning for you, that if you go on a website which is have I been pawned. So this website is really interesting, because this website lets you know that whether your email ID have some data breach or not. Right. For the example, I will type my email address, which is this one, and I'll search about it. As soon as I search, it will be letting me know that whether my data is being breached somewhere or not. So it says that, oh no, your data is being breached on 13 breaches. And if I want to see that what are those breaches, I can scroll down and I can see that, okay, my data is breached on W000 web host. My data breached on Domino's India. My data breached on Dub Smash. I do not use that platform, but still maybe I have the account. And my data was breached on LinkedIn, MySpace, Yatra, right? And you can see that email ID and password was breached. So if I'm using that password which I used on the LinkedIn, on all the other platform, because that's a human nature, so hacker will be getting to know about my password, right? And that is really easy for the hackers to get to know about the passwords. Like if we go on a website like leakpeak.com, so these websites are providing that data for clearly over there. So I'll search about it, and this website will show all of my passwords. Right. So I put my email address. I scroll it down. I guess it is still searching for it. So it is getting loaded and shows me all of my password. It will start up something, because for that you have to log in into this particular website to have a full view, but it shows all of my password. That's really dangerous, right? So this is again one thing that a hacker can use these passwords to try to log in into my other accounts or into my company account, right? It may be possible. So I guess that is all what I have this particular webinar under 50 minute or 1 hour. We can just talk about these things. I hope that you enjoy the talk and you got some new points and give you some idea that what is this particular domain and what kind of attacks we do have over there. And a few of the things that you can check your security, whether your email address is being breached or not, right? So let me know if there are any questions. I can see that there are many questions out there, right? So I'll take 1 minute of pause to give you time for asking questions, and then we will be having a talk after 1 minute. All right. So I guess we have a lot of questions. Let me scroll it down. I'll pick whatever I think that, okay, this is important one. I will be moving to the question and answer part, not into the normal chat box. So make sure that you ask your question into the chat box. So So we have someone is asking WhatsApp hacking over there. See, I already give you example that students who are 20 years old and they are in second year of BTech and some other, they implement their skills and they able to compromise few like many of the things out there which are big organizations like Microsoft. So it all depends on you. Like there is nothing like I tell you that, okay, this is the stepwise instruction and you hack into the WhatsApp. This is a stepwise instruction, you hack into the Facebook. It does not happens like a magic. You have to implement your skills. You have to learn about things. You have to find a vulnerability. And if you're able to find a vulnerability out there, you will, maybe you will be able to do that. Right. So that is one thing. There are one more question from Pranav that many MNCs use VPN for work from home. Yeah, absolutely. Like always, like not many MNC, all of them are using the VPN connection before for the security. So all the data can be encrypted from A point to the B point. But again, hacker can compromise the endpoint, which is used by the employee for like for any kind of purpose. We can talk on this topic for the many hour because we have several attacks which happens in the COVID-19, which all are having some speciality into it, that how that attack happens, even the data is encrypted and how to many things over there, I guess, right? There is one more question that what will be the prerequisite? All right. So yeah, this is an interesting question that what is the prerequisite out there? Because prerequisite, many people will be thinking of that what you will be requiring to learn about the security. See, if you have enough knowledge to use the computers, you know that what is the normal technology. Even we are not requiring the knowledge of networking because we have the fundamental of networking. We will be spending a few weeks on that. So if you have knowledge that how computer works, how Windows works, what is the normal IP address and all of those things, that will be enough for you. And just you should have interest that how to learn about security. And if you have if you have some background that you learn about coding or something in the school or in the college, it will be very great, but it is not very necessary, right? It will be necessary when you move forward into the hacking, but for the initial learning it is not necessary. Then we have fun like few more questions. Just Can a sales guy jump into security? I guess I already answered that question because I just give the example of one of the advocate. So why not? If you have interest, you have knowledge of computers. Yeah, definitely. So, what is the curriculum? I guess you can talk to the management about curriculum, about fees, about the structure, and all of those things. I will be more happy to have the questions which are technical question, and if you want to ask something out there, right? I guess, Anita, can we give the mic access to the audience if they want to ask something? I can say that I can see few of the raise hand, and also many people are dropping questions out there. Maybe I will miss someone's question, so you can again type it into the chat box. So I will be going with it.
Sure. So I have allowed Nandini, and yeah, for now only Nandini raised her hand. And Nandini, you can talk now. You can unmute yourself and can talk.
All right. So I guess there is no other important question I can see right now. Let me scroll it down till the end. Do blockchain come into this industry? Yeah, definitely it do come, because there is a new revolution through the blockchain. So definitely we talk about that domain as well. How to get a job in security? I guess this is one of the easy question, because if you have skills, there are many open gates out there. If you have those kind of skills, do contact me. I'll help you out in that. If it is showing the cyber attack, then why we can't stop it? That is again like, the very famous saying out there is that you have to protect all the gates and windows for stopping the hacker, right? Like you have to focus on many things at one time, but hacker only require one way to get entry into your system or into your infrastructure. So that is the complexity. That is why we cannot stop each and everything. There is always zero day, I guess. It gives you the answer about it. Then we have some more
May I
things.
speak?
After getting training, from where do we, I guess Imarticus will be providing you the exam voucher for CH itself along with the course.
Hello.
Someone is asking, do you train on CH? I would say that we are training way more up like beyond the CH. So CH is one of the basic certification. You will be getting many other things on the basis of it. So CH is just one part of it. I would say just 40 to 50% of it. We will be going till the 100% over there.
Hello.
And there are some more questions. What about OSCP? Yeah, OSCP is the you can say good certification out there. So we will be learning with that stage. So we will be having that stage of knowledge. So I guess we are in the end of the question. I cannot see more questions when I scroll it down. So let me know that if there is any other, if we have. Anita, if you are here, then
Yeah.
you can address me some
So
questions. If I cannot answer,
can you hear me, Shubham?
if I cannot see some questions over there, and if someone is asking some management related thing, please let me know.
Sure. Shubham, can you hear me now? Somewhere you can speak. You can unmute
So,
yourself.
anyone here from the panel?
Hello.
I
Yeah.
guess if
Yeah,
you are
somewhere
into
you
this
can.
webinar, the management team of Imarticus will be contacting you for all of that enrollment process if you want to know about it. Okay, someone is speaking. Let me check. Maybe I am not getting the audio. Just give me a second. Just give me a second for that. Uh, can anyone speak now? If
Am I audible to you,
Yes,
Shubham?
yes. Now you are. Now you are.
Yeah.
Maybe my, yeah.
So, Sumaya, you can ask a question now.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are now.
Yeah. That is what I just wanted to ask about the CEH vouchers and all. Like, on which all categories do you train? Is it something domain specific, or everything that falls under cybersecurity will be trained on?
Absolutely. So basically, in this particular course, which are focused by Imarticus PG program, we will be talking about everything. We will be more focused, like we have the elective, right? Like first of all, we will be learning about the networking. We will be spending a lot of time on networking. After that, we spend our time on operating systems. After that, we spend time on the information security basics, where you will be building up your basic knowledge. After that, we spend few weeks on the cloud security. So because cloud is a trending technology that we will be using for the further attacks and all of the like all of that infrastructure for further utilization. Then after that, we do the complete CEH, that every around more than 20 modules we have related to the different domain, like social engineering, web application, bug bounty, system hacking, cryptography. We have information gathering. We have cloud security, IoT security, some other. Then after that, we will be completing those all modules in with more knowledge than CEH, because there are many other things that are present into that particular domain as well from the industry perspective. After that, the course will not end. We will be moving towards the emerging technologies, that where we will be talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning, industrial control centers, and all of those things, SCADA systems, and all of it. After that, we have the electives, right? In elective, by that particular time, by spending a lot of time on learning different things, you will be capable of making a decision that whether you want to go defensive or whether you want to go offensive. So if you go on the offensive side, you will be learning about penetration testing in depth, that how do we do in the real world. And if you choose the defensive side, then you will be going on the different side, which is the SOC analyst, that how to protect the infrastructure of the organizations. So this is how the whole structure of this course goings on, right? So make sense? I guess you have your answer a bit of.
So this is a complete UG program.
Right, this is a complete
Uh,
UG program, like post graduation program, PG program.
So we'll get access to labs also, right? So we'll not pay extra for all those things.
Absolutely, absolutely. You will be getting CS certification including into the course. You will be getting labs. You will be getting everything over there. Even I guess the interview drive, the placement, and all of those things are also included.
Do we get work from home opportunities in this field?
I would say a lot. Like even I am doing everything from work from home.
Alright. Thank you so much.
All right. So anyone else?
Is it? Can you hear me?
You, yeah, you are audible, Irfan.
Yeah, I have one concern that, even the last I asked one of the
Uh-huh.
cybersecurity engineer the same question that
Okay.
in our organization also one of the guy who's working from Jordan, okay,
Uh-huh.
he's a cybersecurity, what you said, expert for our organizations. But we have a platform like Cisco or firewalls, we have a Palo Alto.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the cybersecurity based on a specific, the vendors or hardware, or it's just an open source?
Yes, good
Uh,
question, I would say. See, if you talk about networking, we have certain frameworks. If you talk about firewall, we do have hardwares, we have some platforms which will be managing it. For SOC analysis, we have. But when we talk about cybersecurity, then we do not have that kind of a structure, because
mhm,
there is a reason for it. Because in cybersecurity, we are talking about everything. If you say that, okay, do we have anything for stopping the attacks that are happening on network? Yeah, we do have framework and hardwares into that category. If you
mhm,
ask me that is there any way to stop the phishing attacks, yeah, we do have some frameworks which will be automatically analyzing those phishing emails and identifying and generating alerts and warnings on it. If you talk about the cloud security and cloud monitoring, yeah, we do have. If you talk about the another domain like IoT security for network security or for some other things, we do have. So cybersecurity is a big domain. If you talk about in the pieces that, okay, this small area web application, we do have monitoring systems. If you talk about the network, we do have. So we do not have the bigger structure which can control each and everything, but we have the frameworks and we have the management things for the smaller uh, domains that we have, which focuses on one kind of thing. Make sense?
yeah, okay, fine, I got it.
Yeah,
And I have one more concern.
sure, sure.
Suppose, look, if someone is working on a Office 65 Azure, okay, the
Uh-huh,
security admin, is it
uh-huh.
good for them to be just switch it to the cybersecurity, and
Absolutely.
they can manage to get it a good scope in the cybersecurity in the future?
Yeah, like if we talk about the scope, then I would say that first of all, I am working into security, so I would say that we have a great, you can say, environment right here. So
Mhm.
cybersecurity is having the opportunity because we have limited number of people, and if you have a knowledge of cloud like Azure, then it will be very grateful because you are already into the technology. You know how cloud works, how the IAM and all of those things are working. You know about the management of the things over the cloud. So it will be helping you to implement the cybersecurity which with much more efficiency, because we can utilize cloud knowledge to perform and execute all of those operations that we perform in the security. Like, just one of the example, if we are uh, deploying any kind of security system like monitoring on the network or detecting the DDoS attacks, so instead of deploying those models into the system, into the dedicated server or machine, it will be way more better on the cloud because it will stay active for all the time, right? And we can comply with that other applications as well. We can replicate that instances. So many other examples will be there that will be helping you to utilize that kind of knowledge. And yeah, it will be obviously a good domain to switch if you are really interested into learning about the attacks, hackers methodology, and all of these things which are evolving around this domain.
Yeah, I have interest in that. That's the reason I'm just looking.
Yeah. All right.
The one more thing is it the course offline or online?
This is, I guess, Anita will be right person to answer that. I guess, Anita, this is
This is online.
available in both or
Yeah,
just online?
it's available in both. Mostly we are launching our new batch, which is online from 15th of July.
Okay, and any offline?
Yeah, offline also we have date. You can check on the website. I have already added the link for the program. You can visit there. Even if you have more questions, we have the counselor online on the WhatsApp. You can directly ping to them. They will be able to help you with it.
One more question, because I'm calling from Hyderabad itself. So you have any branch over here? How is it specific for the state?
Branch in which location you're talking about?
Yeah.
Mumbai, Maharashtra. In Mumbai also we have the branch.
No. You have any specific fixed location, or you have multiple branches across
We
the India?
have we have multiple branches across India, mainly with the Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, and Mumbai.
Okay, can you just let me know if you have any offline batch in Hyderabad for the cybersecurity? I'm interested in that.
Sure, Irfan. So I'll ping you on the email if it's possible for you. I'll tell my counselor to directly connect with you.
No issues. Because I just go through with the triple IT Bangalore.
Okay.
Okay, but the courses they offered is on offline only. Sorry, online.
Hmm.
In the current, they don't have any contents for the offline. But I'm looking for the offline courses, not online.
Irfan, can you share me your contact details on the chat so that I'll just tell my counselor to get back to you within 15 minutes?
No issues. I'll send you the chat.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Vishnu, you have any questions? You had raised your hand. Vishnu, you there?
All right. So I guess uh, we do not have enough question from any other people.
Yeah, Vishnu had added his question on the chat box that how we can hack social media.
Uh, okay, this is one of the question that comes always. So Vishnu, I already told you about the same thing, that if you have the right skills, then uh, if you're able to find any kind of bug and any kind of vulnerability into the infrastructure of those social media, then you will be able to do that. And now, if you ask me that question right now, then it will be difficult to answer because there are hundreds and thousands of vulnerabilities present, so we cannot explain each and every one of them right now, right? So you can you can connect with the team, and I will be sharing you a lot of case studies that will give you idea that in how many ways in the history social media got hacked by different kind of hackers. So we'll get idea on that.
There's
All
one
right.
more
So
question. What
mhm.
are the certification required to crack the job in this competitive world?
All right. So, see, first of all, this particular cyberspace is based on the knowledge. The more you know about it, the more you build your profile into this particular domain, maybe by finding the bugs, by having some other projects that you work upon, that will be enough for you, right? And if I talk about certification, then again, one certification you are already getting, which is CEH, which is enough for getting you entry level job along with the PG certificate that you will be getting. Apart from that, if you are just directly looking for some higher level kind of thing, if you are not talking about the entry level, then I would recommend that okay, there are OSCP, CISSP kind of management certifications which will give you entry at the higher level. But that is again for pursuing those kind of certifications, especially like CISA or CISSP, you will be requiring at least 5 years of experience in cybersecurity. So again, it comes to the CEH that you will be requiring this kind of certificate that will be enough for getting you the entry level of job, and along with the good knowledge, right? The knowledge is important, which have the heavy weightage above than the certification. And also you mentioned the keyword, which is a competitive world. So I would disagree on it, because if you have the right knowledge in cybersecurity, then this is not the competitive area right now, because I already told you that we have less number of people according to the jobs and requirements we have in the industry. So it's just about that how much you know, and whether you are having the right skills or not. So I hope that that's answer for your question, right?
Yeah. So we had already extended our time. If you have guys any doubts or any query, I have added the link on the chat box where you can visit to our website with a program called Post Graduation Program in Cybersecurity with the CEC certification, and you will get each and every details over there regarding to the fees, the program launch date, what are the what will be the what our where our alumni are working, what kind of job you can get. Everything has been mentioned on the website. You can go and check our website. You can fill out the form. After that, our counselor will reach to you within 15 minutes, let's say, or a 30 minutes. And again, you can get all your queries solved over from there also. Hope this helps. And again, we will be coming with one more webinar in by the next month in regards to the cybersecurity, where you guys again can join and ask and get a more knowledge about the overall hacking part and the many other stuff which includes in the cybersecurity. So thank you so much, Shubham, for giving such a wonderful session where most of the topics you have covered very well. Next time we will again would like to get in more depth about the hacking part.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much for inviting me over here, and it's good to interact with all of you. See you soon. You can connect with me as well anytime, and you can connect with the Imarticus for getting all the other details and questions. So thank you everyone for joining the webinar. Hope you get all of your answers to your questions. Yeah, have a good day ahead. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you again and have a very good evening to all. Signing off for the webinar. Thank you guys. Bye.